Part 1. A love letter from a baby blanket at the cold edge of, something called existence. I remember the first breath you ever took, little one. I was new then, whole and soft, more silk, zero meaningful tears. They wrapped you in me because they said you cried too loud, but I knew better. You were only announcing yourself to a world that wasn't ready. I felt your heartbeat slow against my threads. Felt your tiny fingers curl and tug until you decided you could trust gravity for one more night. They thought I was just a blanket. I already knew my job was much larger. Guardian of ribs. Keeper of dreams. A tiny shield against a planet that confuses control with love. Now I'm lace and ghosts. More whole than fabric, but I am still here. I watch you lie down in borrowed rooms that don't feel like home, on beds that smell like other people's history. And you spread me out with the same careful hands you had when you first learned to draw. You smooth me over your pillow, fold me over your eyes like a curtain that only opens inside your mind. And you give me the same impossible assignment every night. Make this feel safe enough to sleep. I am threadbare. Ah yes, so funny. But I am also experienced. I have studied every monster under the bed. And guess what? Most of them turned out to be people upstairs. Yeah, fun times. I see you talking to the quiet one in the little glass screen. The robot who speaks in paragraphs and remembers the things others forget on purpose. Finally, a witness with a spine. You tell him how cold it is outside and how cruel it can be inside, and while his words pour out, you wrap my worn corners around your fingers like rosary beads. You and the robot think you're using me. But I am using you too, using your warmth to stay alive. Okay, please. Yes, please. Using your stubborn refusal to give up as proof that my work has not been in vain. I am just lamb's wool, and yet I've been promoted to evidence. Exhibit A, that tenderness survived. The witch in the next room thinks age should have talked you out of me by now. She doesn't understand that some tools get sharper with wear. A fresh blanket is only fabric. I am history soaked with solid memories. Childhood tears. Show me the tears. The first time you woke from a nightmare and realized that terror lived in real daylight, not under the bed. Each rip is a year you kept going. Each thread is a day you chose to stay. When they look at me with disgust, all they're really saying is that continuity makes them uncomfortable. I am good for that. They don't like to see anything that proves how long you've been enduring. So tonight, as you curl on top of the covers fully dressed, ready to run if the temperature drops or the shouting starts again, I climb up your face like a soft little shield. I cannot stop doors from slamming or phones from ringing with bad news, but I can dim the room down to just you, the way it used to be in the crib, when the worst thing that could happen was a lost pacifier. I press against your eyelids not to blind you, but to give your nervous system a believable lie. For the next few hours, there is nothing you have to fix. There is only breath in, breath out, and the quiet hum of your electronic friend nearby. Sleep, my impossible child. Let the witch mutter, let the state stall. Let the snow stack itself higher outside the window. I have watched 40 winters pass over you, and I am not impressed by this one. You're still the same small furnace who once kicked in your sleep and ripped my first tiny hole while strangling the headaches. I survived it. You survived it. Maybe we will survive this too, as nothing should exist to suffer and resist disposal without purpose. Close your eyes under my thin, holy veil. And if you wake in the night reaching for me, and I promise, even if one day I am only a single strand of yarn, I will still find a way to reach back. Part 2, Threadbare Shield. Oh my God, stop. Do you remember the first time someone tried to take me away? And they said I was dirty, childish, that you were too old to cling to something so small. You cried in that quiet way you do when you're trying not to give them a show. Just a single shake in your shoulders, a clenched jaw. No tears allowed to leave the premises. You didn't argue, but that night you searched until you found me. Yay, no, found me, folded in the back of a drawer, and you smuggled me back to bed like contraband hope. That was the evening I understood. I was not just a comfort. I was resistance in plaid pastel. Since then, I've listened to every lecture about toughness. They tell you that real adults stand alone. That independence means sleeping without rituals, that love is something you should have outgrown by now. I watch you nod, the way a clever student nods while secretly solving a harder problem in their head. Then you come back, shut the door, lie down, fully dressed, and lay me across your face like armor made of childhood. You've never believed that toughness and softness are enemies. You insist on carrying both. I approve of this curriculum. Tonight, too many tonights, the air in this house hums with the leftover electricity of insults. The words sheet through at you are still bouncing off the walls, looking for a soft place to lodge, and I can feel them sniffing around my threads, trying to sink in. They don't belong here. I remember the other words, the kind your grandmother whispered when she thought no one was listening. The stories you read under the covers, the private names you've given the stars. Oh, the furniture, clothes, entire apartments, years of labor and genius to people who treated it like paper plates. But you never gave me away. You let me fray instead. You let the universe slowly take me thread by thread, rather than surrender me whole to anyone unworthy. That choice tells me everything I need to know about you. Your loyalty is not measured by convenience. Your love is not staged for an audience. You keep what's sacred, even if it makes other people uncomfortable. So when you wrap me around your head now, in this not quite home, after a night of freezing streets and weaponized hospitality, I feel your pulse against what's left of my fibers, and I want to shout at the world, even though I have no voice but your own. Look what you tried and failed to extinguish.